Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mbah has appealed to nursing students in the state to remain and serve in its healthcare sector upon graduation, in a bid to curb brain drain and combat the rising Japa syndrome. Speaking through the secretary to the state government, Professor Chidebere Onya, at the maiden matriculation ceremony of the Nursing College, Enugu, the governor emphasized the state's significant investment in health and education, urging students to give back rather than seek opportunities abroad. The 2024/2025 matriculation ceremony marked a milestone with 240 students admitted, 120 each from Park Lane and Argo campuses, following the upgrade of the college to a higher national diploma (HND) awarding institution. Mbah reaffirmed his administration's commitment to building a healthy society and transforming Enugu into a hub for medical tourism. He noted that the state had invested heavily in infrastructure, equipment, and staffing to ensure quality nursing education. The upgrade led to the accreditations from the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria and the Nigerian and National Board for Technical Education, enabling students to earn 4 professional certificates, including registered nurse and registered midwife. Special Advisor on Health, Dr. Yomi Jaye, commended the administration's efforts, disclosing that student intake has expanded significantly and would continue to grow to support the state's 260 new primary health centers. Acting Provost Dr. Nkechi Ani also praised the Governor Mbah's reforms, which include digital training, international courses, and improved learning infrastructure. Student representative Rita Obodo expressed gratitude for the transformation, saying it had empowered them with multiple qualifications and greater professional prospects. Comrade, what's your take on this story?
First and foremost, I want to say it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to hear that the government is taking the bold step of putting education and health as a priority on our budget. And I think it's a welcome development for us. However, it is pertinent to stress and say that these medical equipment and infrastructures, they are not rocket science, neither are they spiritual. They are things that anybody who wants to marshal out right plans to get things done can put on ground. Because, why am I saying this? These things we're talking about structures. They are equipments people can buy, people could order, people could build. We're seeing people in Nigeria today, it's no more like a private sector thing. If it's not a private sector, if it's not privately driven, it does not really work. And these are things and areas that I think government will begin to look into. Now, the Enugu State Government is asking the nursing students to remain in the facility when they are done, when they graduate, so that they can equally give back. You will not ask yourself, it's not about people. Nigerians love Nigerians. We are about, by the word analysis and statistics, we are the most happy people in the world. And automatically, what does that tell you? We really love our nation. We want to stay. But is our nation loving us in return? Does the nation want to accommodate people? That's the question we should be asking. And for the governor, I would want to say, however, I give him kudos for upgrading the infrastructures. I have not been there to know exactly the infrastructures that have been put in place. However, let it not be just on paper. But if it goes beyond being on paper and it's something tangible, kudos to him. But I think it's equally pertinent for them to work out a process whereby health workers will have reasons to stay in the country. Because I think that the terms and conditions that surrounds their services is far from what is obtainable in other climes. And I think that is the reason why the brain drain from the health sector, it's almost it's almost so real. Any person that is medically inclined, that has the capacity to travel, would travel. It's just like they are looking for money, they want to travel. There's a better life waiting out there. And where are you going to? A completely strange place without you even knowing anybody. But people outside, because of leadership, have been able to structure a pattern and a process where people begin to want to come and seek a better life. So I think it is pertinent and inherent that government at all levels will begin to look inwards and see to it that why are our people living. It goes just beyond the building. Like, let us use River State Teaching Hospital here in UAPTH or UBTH as BMH as a case study. They must learn how to do something that is of international repute and standard. We already all know that African mosquitoes carries a what's it called, a bacteria that causes malaria. And if you come to the hospital, you are supposed to come so you can be treated and be fine. not so for you to come to a den of mosquitoes. Obviously, mosquitoes, they are the medical people. Mosquitoes breed because of stagnant waters. If it is the drainage, the fumigation process systematically should be put in place. But when you go to the Nigerian public hospitals or the public health centers, it's not where you want to just be. You saw a couple of days ago, the rumor that came out that the FCT minister collapsed, just for collapsing. Well, we use the word just for collapsing because we see footballers even collapse on the pitch. And you see the process, it's almost seamless. You already know where it's supposed to be headed and what to be done. We've had a former president who had to go leave the shores of Nigeria because he had to go fix his ears for ear treatment. That's how bad the the health sector is at the moment. And so you do not expect people who have something to offer in places where they are needed and to be appreciated to stay just the way because someone is asking them to stay. Ask yourself, the nurses that were kidnapped and doctors that were kidnapped in Enugu State a couple of months ago, how far? We've not heard of. I don't know if they've been released up until now. So you can understand that it's the terrain where people have been asked to stay back and work is becoming more and more hostile, and government is not showing any kind of strength or capacity to say that, oh, we are weathering the storm, things are getting better. In Nigeria today, you can see to what happened. Whether we like it or not, these are opportunities for us to call government out again and again. Now, in a normal place where you are giving somebody everything, you don't need to tell the person to stay, not to travel. Because the person would understand that he has to, before anybody travels, they make calls. You do analysis, you read journals. So you now make analysis. When you understand that where you are going is another man's land, is a no man's land, and here you have a life you could call your own. Everybody wants to build where they can call their own, where they have a stake. But in Nigeria, as it were, outside the fact that the cost of living has skyrocketed, you are a medical personnel. On top of that, your security is almost zero around you. You are your own security. You are your own power. You are your own everything. And there's a place that all you just need to do is the same service. And when you give the same service, you now realize that you are appreciated in a different way that makes you come on, just live your life like you have always dreamt about it. The brain drain will continue to happen. So, but I think that if the Enugu State government has said, okay, they put infrastructures, I think outside the infrastructures, the working environment and the salaries and all has to be equally reviewed, looked at. Let it be appreciable. Let it be workable. Because we are seeing, listen, people will just want to, someone that is a government praise singer and an apologetic person will just say, what are you saying? The truth cannot be overemphasized. What are our government personnel really working? And if we say if both of us agree here that they do not do anything spiritually, very important. It's obvious and it's important and imperative to understand that when people are reckoning so much money, people should be able to have a little to live their lives. More so medical personnel, because that's what we're talking about today. So if the government, after fixing the infrastructure, which we don't know the level of infrastructure anyways, but however, if the infrastructure are up to date and the technology they give the people, education they give the people is standard, after which I think it's equally pertinent that you equally give them an enabling environment, one of which that they will have a reason to stay back and not flee the shores of the country.
Apart from Enugu State, in your opinion, how far has the government, federal government, go on in ensuring that this brain drain does not continue, the menace does not continue trending?
I think for me, people who already know me understand that the government has fared abysmally, very, very disappointingly poor. And then there's been little or no bridge in sight for me. Do you understand? There's little or no bridge in sight for me. I don't know the medical facilities of government medical facilities. I don't know any government medical facility that you have been to and that you can confidently say it looks like anything you see in the movies. So if there's any of sort, fine and good. If there is none, then I think government itself should just be our own judges. We are not going to judge them, but we're just going to let them understand that the government's not doing enough. And it is even pertinently painful the way it is for us, because when you talk about government, you're talking about people who are living the good life that is the good life in limbo, because they are living in a world that is not within the world of the Nigerian state or the Nigerian people. They are living outside the Nigerian state. Almost everybody in Nigeria today is all just scrambling to be in government one way or the other. because government is a cash cow where everybody just comes to collect. Outside of that, the services government renders to Nigerian people are far from abysmally poor, because how do you justify it? Now you're talking about medical facilities where people cannot confidently, you cannot confidently say you are looking for health in an unhygienic environment. How many of the government facilities can you really beat your hand on your chest in fairness to conscience that you could go and pass the night as you would have loved to walk into an hotel? So if the environment for which you want to be treated is even already in a pitiable state, how then does your mind now wrap itself around when maybe the illness is life-threatening? So I think government, for me, when it comes to medical facilities and governance in general, I think government has performed abysmally very poor. And what's still, it's just a pity that we're going down the drain on a daily basis from one administration to the other. When you think you see the worst of the governance, the next person that just takes over just keeps nosediving. And I think for me, there's nothing to take home from it. It's a pitiable situation for me, and that's my stake on government's performance so far.
All right.